All right, well, here we'll get down to some of the nitty gritty about what you're going to be doing in this first week. And so now you'll see first, you want to watch the introduction to the course and then do your intro video just so we can all get to know each other a little bit. Assignments for this week, and you'll notice that there's a theme about how these assignments show up every week. You kind of have the same things each week. You have generally a discussion post, you have a reading response, and then you have a project of where you actually will look at some technology. And so they're all usually tied together. This first week, the first thing I want you to do is actually let me know what kind of interest you have and in terms of experiences with technology. So you'll click here, you'll fill out this interest survey. That will be your first assignment. And then secondly, you will go to the Google Earth project. You're going to just get a brief overview of the technology, watch the short video. There's some other instructions about how to use Google Earth in a educational setting. You're going to want to actually download the app, or you can also just access it on this web interface. I have given you a list of kind of ideas for projects that you could do in an educational setting. So I'd like you to pick one of the student activities on this list that is most relevant to you. So you'll see there's 10 different ones to choose from. Some of these might be more interesting than others. And so where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? If you are interested in more of the geographical uses, that might be an activity you want to explore more. Learning about climate change, making a biography come to life. That's more a literacy project. There's a math concepts with Google Earth. So exploring latitude and longitude. So several different activities you could explore. And so the assignment is to pick one of those activities and to go through the activities, including reviewing supplemental materials that are included, like instructional materials, teacher guides, things that might help you to actually facilitate the activity. And then while you're doing that, I'd like you to think about how you would engage in this activity as a student. And you will need to submit 3 screenshots that shows you have engaged in the activity more like a student would. So you actually, if you're doing the Carmen Sandiego game, I want you to try it out and actually see what you would do as a student. And so, yeah, just 3 screenshots that you'll take, you'll submit that. You're going to write a summary, 1 page, no more, double spaced, describing the resource that you evaluated and whether or not you think it would be worthwhile to use in a STEM setting, and maybe how you would use it. And then you'll submit both the paper along with your screenshots on Canvas. And these are due on October 5th. So that's the first kind of project you need to do. And then your reading response is, again, I'm in the reading responses, I'm also introducing you to a new technology each time. So sometimes this is a little more challenging to facilitate as a discussion, but I really just want to get you to experience this as something that might be useful in your educational setting. So for this week, we're going to use Padlet. Some of you may have heard of Padlet, used Padlet, seen it used. So you're going to actually respond to the reading questions and post your response in Padlet. So this one is give a brief overview of what STEM is and identify at least 3 technologies you associate with STEM or have used in connection with STEM. And make sure to include your name on your post if it doesn't show up. So the way you add a post is just by clicking on the button. And you can type in your subject and then publish it so that we can all see it. So you will find out some information about STEM, and you need to actually do the reading first before you respond to the STEM response or to the reading response. And you'll see in week 1 we have readings. Oftentimes, I will tell you that these are not all readings. They may be a mix of videos and other kinds of modalities besides just reading. So like this one is a PDF, but these 2 are videos. You'll also see there's some supplemental resources that could be useful. Skim, I don't expect you to read these in depth, and the questions won't be specific to these. But these are all resources that as STEM educators are important. These are the technology standards, these are the science standards, and then these are the Common Core State Standards, which cover the math. So NGSS covers science and engineering, technology, and math. So all of those kind of guide our work in STEM. So that is week 1 work, and I will post this intro video for week 1 here so you know what to do. And I hope you have some fun with the Google Earth project. I absolutely love I get lost in Google Earth, just exploring all the things you can find using that technology. So I hope that's one that you find a useful application for in your educational setting. And also Padlet. So keep this in mind. So you will be doing some course-long projects. One of them's an bibliography and of all your STEM technology resources. So make sure as you're using these that you're keeping track of the citations for those. And then the other thing is you're going to pick 2 technologies to actually dive into further. And the first one you'll do a project on that's due week 4. And so in that case, you actually have to develop kind of like a little activity you would do with students with that technology. So thinking about that as you explore these technologies each week, which ones resonate, which ones would you like to dive into a little deeper, and also just making sure you're keeping track of all of those resources that you use. So by the end of the class, I think you have to have 30 resources for technology. And I will say just there are some examples as we get closer to, and I'll go into more depth when we get a little closer, like these are the annotated bibliographies. These are not exemplars, these are just student examples that were completed. And so that's what you'll need to do is complete one of these with all of your technology resources. And then here is, I think it's week 4 is when you actually do the applied technology project. That's where you pick one of the technologies and you actually do more in-depth work with it. So you can take a look at that if you're curious about what that looks like and what you're going to be doing. You'll see I've chosen several technologies and you can see those are listed, but again, I mentioned in the intro to the course, as we move forward, if there are technologies that you're really super excited about trying, new things that you've seen, I am happy we can modify the course and add different technologies that you would be interested in exploring. So with that, I will let you get started on week 1.